Our movie begins with Kate, who works as an English teacher in a high school. One day, she is in her class explaining the lesson to the students. Kate notices a student who is not paying attention to what she is explaining and is reading comics. So, she stops explaining and lets the student read to the class what he is reading. However, the school principal enters and asks her to meet him in his office. He blames her principal for caring more about the student's hobbies than the lesson. He blames her for resigning instead of him finding a way to reject her. Kate is living with Mick, her roommate and friend from the days of Alf Fowler. On the same day, Meg is marketing the cosmetic product that she is supposed to sell, but one of her clients discovers that Meg is a scammer and that she steals bad Korean products and markets them as if they are her own. Mick leaves the company, upset because her work is not successful, and she does not know how to market it or that she sells it, and philosophizes about her car because it was parked wrong. So she decides to walk home, and Kate goes home and finds her friend Meg drinking alcohol and dancing. So Kate realizes that something bad happened to Meg, so Meg tells her that she bought a Baez product with all her money and she doesn't know how to market it. Then Kate tells her about her boss threatening to expel her from school. While Kate is sleeping, Meg wakes her up and tells her that their lives are both starting to collapse and that they need to change the atmosphere and travel to forget all the negative things that happened to them recently. She tells her that she booked a flight for them to Florida in 3 hours from now. They both get on the plane, and Kate has a phobia of high places, so she closes the window curtain of the plane and takes sedatives to be able to travel. Suddenly, a man named Ryan enters, and his seat is between Kate and Meg, and Ryan is a handsome, blonde, blue-eyed, muscular young man. They both prefer to stare at him intently as he lifts his bag up the stairs above them. After a while, the three of them get to know each other. Ryan tells them that he is traveling to a wedding. Every time Meg tries to talk to him to make him like her, Kate gets involved in the conversation between them so that Ryan will pay attention to her as well. But Kate takes an overdose of sedatives and has a hard time until the end of the flight. Suddenly, the pilot talks to the passengers and tells them that he will make an emergency landing in St. Louis because of a major hurricane on their way to Florida. Meg is upset that their vacation will be ruined because of the hurricane. The flight attendant comes to make sure they fasten their seatbelts, but he finds Kate asleep. So, he tries to adjust her sleeping position on the seat, but Kate turns on her face and thrashes around. She goes back to sleep on Kate Freen until the end of the flight. After that, Kate and Mag arrive at the hotel where they will stay until their trip to Florida is completed, and the hurricane passes, and Kate thinks that she is in Florida and is unaware of what happened because of her sleep until Meg explains to her what happened, and it turns out that Meg's bag was lost during the deliveries, and Meg makes a report to the hotel to send it to the airport to look for the bag, and they both go up to rest in their rooms, and they are very tired from the trip, but they are surprised when they find Ryan in the elevator while they are going up, and they know that Hibbot is with them in the same hotel and is playing a drink in the hotel bar at night, and they both agree with a big smile on their faces, and then they both talk to each other in the room about Ryan, and Meg tells Kate that Ryan will like Kate and want to date her. But Kate is losing confidence and tells Meg that her chance will not come, anything compared to Meg's chance with him, and Meg thinks about the subject. She loses her bag with her dresses in it, and she doesn't know what to wear because of Ron. Ron's party time comes at the bar, and Ron sees Kate, and she says that maybe Meg won't come to the party, but Ron is with Wagner, and she is dealt with by an Indian guy working at the hotel, and leaves Ron to order them drinks from the bar. A guy named Craig enters and introduces himself to them, but Meg tells him to stay away from them because Craig looks average and not handsome. She goes to the Kettle Complex, and Ron has reserved a table for them, but Ron sees the news that the hurricane is still turbulent, and he is upset because he will miss his wedding dinner party. The two girls go to him and flatter him, and they tell him that they will compensate him for his party on the wedding night. The three of them talk to each other and ask Ron what they do for a living. Meg tells him that she is the manager of a beauty products company and lies to him so that he will like her. Kate tells him that she works as a teacher in a high school, but she lies to him and tells him that this school is for the disabled so that Ron feels that she is doing a good deed and likes her. Ron tells them that nothing comes near them and that he is just working as an ordinary firefighter. He looks at the two girls, and this is the beginning of the challenge, because the one who makes Ron fall in love is the one who wins. After that, the three of them get up to dance, and each one tries to rub against Ron while dancing with her, until an embarrassing situation happens for Meg, and her dress is torn. Thus, their night ends, but not in a good way. After that, Ron takes them to their room in the hotel and tells them that tomorrow they can go out together to the city and bring Tuskar from there. Ron is coming down, but Kate stops the elevator and pretends that she wants to get something from downstairs so that she can be alone with him, but Meg does not let her and pulls her out of the elevator. They go to their room and stay. They argue over who will stay with Ryan. Then the four of them continue their journey in the car, and Kate is riding behind Ryan and makes him massage her neck to annoy Meg. So Meg loves sleeping pills in the alcohol bottle she has with her and tries to make Kate drink it. But Kate refuses, and Craig takes the bottle from her and drinks from it in one go. So Meg doesn't know how to tell them that there is sleeping pills in it and that he is the driver. And at night, Craig is driving and falls asleep once and has an accident on the road and is injured. So they go to the hotel to rest in it, and Kate writes that there are pills at the bottom of the glass, and Meg looks at her and doesn't speak, and they go up to their room, and Meg tells Kate that she has surrendered and that Ryan is hers. So Kate tells her that she doesn't want him and that she only wants Meg to take him, and then Meg goes down to the bar and hears Craig sit next to her and talk to her, and she finds out that he owns a jewelry store and precious stones. And at that time, Ryan meets Meg while she is bringing a drink and enters her room with her, and a relationship occurs between them. The next day, Meg talks to Kate at breakfast and apologizes to her for what happened and tells her that Kate is the most important person in her life and that they do not allow a stranger to separate them like that. Kate learns from Meg's talk to her that Meg had a relationship with Ryan before her. Craig enters and says that Ryan sped up his car and left, but Kate's only concern is the relationship with Ryan and Meg, so she says and quarrels with Meg, and he breaks into the restaurant and ruins the hotel until the police arrest them. The police investigate Craig about the theft of his car and ask them for information that they can use to reach Ryan. It turns out that Ryan added Craig to a social networking site, and Craig knows that the wedding that Ryan is going to is his wedding. So Kate and Meg get angry that Ryan took advantage of them to celebrate his last bachelorette night. Why? They decide to go to his wedding and ruin it, and disgrace him, Ryan, in front of his wife and family. And they come because Craig decided to separate from them because he has work, and he takes the two girls to the wedding hall and finds his bride. So he tells her that her groom had a relationship with them, so she loves him and throws a bouquet of flowers in the groom's face and curses. But it turns out that the groom is not Ryan, and that the two girls ruined his wedding by mistake. So he goes to the hall next to her and Bella, Ryan, who when he sees them, runs away from them until they catch him outside, and he talks to them and tricks them and tells them that they should not ruin his wedding. So he tells him that he took advantage of them and that they must take revenge on him. But Ryan responds to them and says that he was part of their game with each other to prove to the other who will fall in love with her, and that after what they did to the two girls, they are now equal, and he tells them that the one who will marry her is him. He has been with her since college, and that he wanted to try to have a relationship with another girl other than her, and that these two girls were a dream for him to have a relationship with. But what happened. So he smiled at them and did not tell them that he was the one who would marry Faber, and he told her that they did not ask if he was the one who would marry, and therefore he did not lie to them And then Ron's bride enters, and she is a bossy one and treats Ron like a servant. So, Neton loves Ron, and they say that this way they got their rights after they saw how Ron was acting, and she goes to Craig's shop and apologizes to him for the harsh treatment she treated him with, and kisses. And I like the airport with Kate and tells her that she is leaving the house, and this is because she does not want Kate to be the one to spend on her, and that she wants to depend on herself, and apologizes to her for everything bad that she did to her. And Kate tells her that she always wanted to be like Mick one day, and that she was the one who depended on Mick in her life. Matters, and after days later, Kate returns to her job and follows up on her students' talents, encourages their development, and talks to her manager, telling him that she won't accept that he didn't ask her to resign, and that what happened was a misunderstanding. Maggie has a work meeting, and they swing each other. After that, she goes to her friend Kate's house and sits with her. They watch TV as before. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Movie Story for more amazing movie recaps. Let us know in the comments which movie you'd like us to cover next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.